I sit in my wedding dress, its fabric spilling around me like liquid. My phone screen glows with a message that shatters me. I can't walk you down the aisle. Marissa's event is too important. I'll try to make it for the reception. My father's words blur through tears. The bridal suite spins, the champagne flutes, the veil draped over a chair, bridesmaids frozen mid-preparation. The clock ticks mercilessly toward the ceremony. No, I whisper, then louder. No, no, no. With a cry, I fling my phone against the wall. It hits with a crack and falls to the carpet. My bridesmaids gasp. Jessica's mascara wand halts midair. Tara's mouth opens in shock. Ari, what happened? Tara asks carefully. I can't answer. My chest tightens, each heartbeat pounding like a hammer. The engagement ring on my finger feels unbearably heavy, a promise intact while another one breaks. The door swings open. Melanie, our wedding planner, strides in with her clipboard, efficient as always. 3 hours until lineup, ladies. She stops, sensing the tension. What's wrong? My father, I manage. He's not coming. Not coming? Melanie's composure falters. But the ceremony. We planned everything around him walking you. Well, he's not. My voice sounds sharp. Brittle. My sister's event is apparently more important than my wedding day. The words hang in the air, heavier once spoken. A memory surfaces, standing at my mother's funeral, 13 years old, clutching my father's hand as he whispered, I'll always be there for the important moments. Ari, you and I are a team now. What a lie that had been. 9 months ago. When Ethan and I set the date, Dad had seemed thrilled. At his kitchen table, surrounded by wedding magazines, he'd said, Nothing would make me prouder than walking you down the aisle. I had believed him. The first sign of trouble came 3 months ago, when Marissa announced her career celebration, scheduled for the same day. It's just bad timing, Dad said over dinner. I'm sure we can work something out. The ceremony is at 4, I reminded him. Her event isn't until 7. You can make both. The drive between venues, he hesitated. It's 45 minutes, Dad. This is my wedding day. He squeezed my hand. Of course I'll be there, sweetheart. We'll make it work. But weeks later, his excuses grew. Traffic, family duty, timing. I reassured him, rearranged plans, even offered a car service. Anything so he could walk me down the aisle. And now, 3 hours before I marry Ethan, he sends a text. A text. We need to move forward, Melanie says softly. Is there anyone else who could walk you? An uncle, maybe? Or would you prefer to walk alone? Alone. The word echoes painfully. My phone rings from where it landed. Jessica retrieves it, hands it to me. Uncle Martin's name flashes. The brother who never missed a recital or graduation. I answer with trembling hands. Ariana? His voice is warm, concerned. Your father just called me. I don't know what to say, sweetheart. A sob escapes. He's not coming, Uncle Martin. I know, he says, anger barely hidden. And I'm so sorry. Tears blur my vision. I don't know what to do. He pauses, then clears his throat. Would you let me walk you down the aisle? Something breaks and heals inside me at once. You'd do that? In a heartbeat. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Don't you worry. I end the call, surrounded by worried faces. But something shifts within me. Maybe family isn't always who you're born to. It's who shows up. My Uncle Martin is coming, I say firmly. He'll walk me down the aisle. Despite everything, I know I'll be okay. His offer wraps around me like warmth. I stand taller, hope flickering to life. My bridesmaids exhale in relief. He'll be here in 20 minutes, I announce. Voice steadier now. Jessica steps closer. Phone in hand, her mascara wand forgotten. Ari, there's something you need to see. Her hesitant tone makes my stomach twist. What is it? She holds out her phone. On the screen, a text exchange between her and my sister. Marissa sent these to me by mistake last month. I wasn't sure if I should tell you. But now, I take the phone with shaking hands, the diamond on my finger catching the light. The texts are dated 3 weeks ago. Marissa. Dad's still wavering about the wedding. Jessica kept repeating that we had to make this work. But Marissa whispered, "Don't worry. I'll make sure Dad is with me on the wedding day." "I already have it covered." Jessica's eyes widened. "Marissa, that's awful." "It's her wedding," Marissa laughed. "Oops, wrong Jessica. Delete this." "Not for the bridal group." The room seemed to tilt. I dropped onto the vanity stool, my vision blurring. Jessica whispered, "I should have shown you earlier. I didn't think she would actually do this." "Sabotage my wedding day?" My voice sounded empty, even to me. "I believe it," I muttered. The memory returned uninvited. 4 years ago, I stood in the MIT auditorium, searching for Dad's face as I received the National Computer Science Scholarship. He had promised he'd be there. He'd even texted that morning to confirm. But he never showed up. Later, he claimed an emergency at work. Months after, I learned the truth from his assistant. Marissa had told him I wanted him to reschedule because I was too nervous to have him there. This wasn't new. It stretched back 17 years, to the days after Mom died. I was only 13, broken and lost. At 16, Marissa stepped into Mom's role, managing dinners, controlling Dad's schedule, and slowly pushing me away from him. "She's been doing this for years," I whispered. "And he always lets her." Tara put an arm around me. "Your dad is a fool. And your sister is worse," a knock interrupted us. Melanie peeked in. "Mrs. Carter is here." "Ethan's mother. She wants to see you." I nodded, quickly wiping away tears. Catherine Carter entered in her pale blue gown, elegant and calm. Her eyes widened at my face. "Oh, Ariana!" She crossed the room and held my hands. Martin told me. "I'm so sorry, her kindness nearly broke me. Since Ethan introduced us 2 years ago, Catherine had been more of a mother than I'd had in years." "I don't understand why he's doing this," I admitted, my voice catching. She sat beside me, still holding my hands. "When I was 28, my father refused to attend my wedding. He didn't approve of our interfaith marriage. Did he come?" I asked. She shook her head. "No. For years I kept waiting for his approval, through holidays, birthdays, everything. But it never came." Her grip tightened. "This isn't just about today. It's about whether you'll let them keep breaking your heart." Her words hit hard. How many times had I rearranged my life for Dad? How many times had I accepted disappointment when he canceled because of something Marissa thought was more important? I thought of the Carters, the first dinner I had with them, how Gregory pulled out my chair, how Catherine remembered my favorite dessert, how they welcomed me with genuine warmth. That was real family. "I've been chasing his approval all my life," I whispered. "And what has it given you?" Catherine asked softly. "Heartbreak, disappointment." I straightened, a new resolve forming. "I won't let his absence ruin the happiest day of my life." The clock read 7 minutes before the ceremony. 7 minutes to choose. Another story of abandonment or one of joy despite it. "Martin will be here soon," Catherine said, standing. "Shall I help you with your makeup?" Before I could reply, my phone buzzed. "A message from Ethan. Whatever you need, I'm here. Even if it means waiting. I love you." Tears filled my eyes again, but this time with gratitude. For the family I was joining, for the man who loved me fully. "I don't want to wait," I told Catherine. "This day isn't about who isn't here. It's about Ethan and me and those who chose to stand with us." Jessica and Tara exchanged relieved glances. Melanie adjusted the schedule with a nod. "Have you ever had to choose between happiness and family expectations?" I asked Catherine as she gently dabbed concealer under my eyes. "Many times," she replied, her smile tinged with sadness. The day I stopped trying to earn my father's love was the day I truly started living. 10 minutes later, Uncle Martin appeared in his tux, slightly breathless. His eyes met mine with such warmth my heart swelled. At that moment, I realized family isn't only blood. It's the people who stand with you when everything else falls apart. I stood, smoothed my dress, and walked toward my future, ready to let go of the past. An hour later, after the room had cleared, my makeup artist worked quietly. My phone vibrated against the vanity as she dabbed concealer under my eyes. Robert's name flashes on the screen. I hesitate, then press the green button. Ariana. His voice comes through the speaker, strained. You're making this harder for everyone by refusing to reschedule. Marissa worked so hard for this promotion. My throat tightens. Dad, we set this date 9 months ago. And Marissa's event matters too. Why must you make me choose? The makeup artist pauses, brush hovering near my cheek. I didn't make you choose, I whisper, my voice breaking. You did that on your own. I end the call before he can answer, before I completely fall apart. Silently, the makeup artist hands me a tissue. A soft knock breaks the silence. The door opens, and Uncle Martin steps in, holding a small velvet box. I nod, allowing him in. He crosses the room quickly and pulls me into a hug. Look at you, he says, stepping back. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for everything. I love you. My words feel small compared to the gratitude in my chest. Nothing could have kept me away. I love you too, sweetheart. His blue eyes crease at the corners. I brought something for you. He opens the box, revealing a pearl necklace with a silver clasp. The pearls shine warmly against the velvet. These belong to my mother, he explains. She wore them at her wedding in 1952. I've kept them safe for this moment. My fingers hover above them. Uncle Martin, I couldn't. You can, and you will, he replies firmly but kindly. She would have wanted you to have these. Your family, Ariana. Real family. Jessica appears at the door. Let me help you put them on. She fastens the clasp behind my neck. The door opens again. Gregory, Ethan's father, steps in. Martin, I brought that boutonniere you asked for. The two men share a quiet, knowing glance. Gregory pats Martin's shoulder, then turns to me. Ariana, everything's ready when you are. Ethan's nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. His attempt at humor brings me a faint smile. I just need a few minutes with my niece, Martin says. Gregory nods, squeezes my hand, and leaves. My bridesmaid follows, leaving just Martin and me. Ariana. Uncle Martin guides me to sit. I need to tell you something. He leans forward, hands clasped. When I graduated college, my father refused to come. What? Why? He wanted me to run the family business. When I chose teaching instead, he saw it as betrayal. His gaze drifts. I searched the crowd that day hoping to see him. He never came. My heart aches for him. I'm so sorry. Some men don't see what matters until too late, he continues. He realized his mistake years later, but by then, too much time was gone. I touched the pearls at my throat. Did you forgive him? Eventually, but I never forgot who showed up instead. My mother, wearing these pearls. His hand brushes the necklace. She said she was twice as proud to make up for his absence. Melanie steps into the room. We need to rehearse the walk before guests arrive. Martin rises and offers his arm. Shall we? In the quiet chapel, sunlight streams through stained glass, scattering colors across the aisle. The photographer adjusts her camera, preparing for first look photos with Martin instead of Robert. We'll start here, then continue at this pace, Melanie demonstrates. Martin and I take our places. With each practice step down the aisle, something shifts. A bond deepens, unspoken but steady. His arm feels strong beneath my hand, his stride measured and sure. After the third walkthrough, we pause at the altar. Tears I've been holding back spill over. What's wrong, sweetheart? Martin asks. I'm afraid, I whisper, that all I'll remember today is who wasn't here. Martin takes my hands. Then let's give you something beautiful to remember instead. He pulls a handkerchief from his pocket, initials LMP stitched in the corner. Your mother's? I ask, he nods. Linda Marie Parker. She gave it to me before she passed, said someday you might need it. The simple cotton square, carrying her initials, feels like a message across time. I press it to my cheek, breathing in the faint lavender scent. Uncle Martin. I don't know how to thank you. You don't need to thank me, Ariana, he says, his voice steady, though touched with emotion. Family shows up? That's what matters. Behind us, the chapel doors open as guests begin arriving, their quiet conversations filling the space while they take their seats. Almost time, Melanie announces. Martin adjusts his tie. I have one question before we go in, he says. What is it? Would your mother have approved of Ethan? The question surprises me, but the answer comes without hesitation. She would have loved him. Then she's here too, Martin replies softly. In these pearls, in that handkerchief, and in your heart. Those who love us deeply never truly leave. I straighten, feeling the pearls at my collarbone and the handkerchief tucked into my dress. I'm ready, I tell him. And for the first time today, I mean it. Martin offers his arm once again. Then let's go create memories worth keeping. We wait behind the closed doors as the music begins. In that moment, I understand something clearly. Family isn't always defined by blood. It's defined by the people who stand with you when it matters most. 2 hours pass in final preparations. Through the draped windows, I catch glimpses of guests seated on white chairs across the lawn, their summer clothes a burst of color against the garden's deep green. Someone blocks my view. Uncle Martin adjusts his boutonniere and asks, "Are you ready?" The question carries more weight than he knows. Am I ready to walk the aisle without my father? Am I ready to embrace this new circle of family forming around me like quiet protection? I touch the cool pearls at my throat. I am. Martin stands tall in his tuxedo, perfectly fitted. When he first arrived earlier, breathless but determined, I never imagined how this moment would transform from chaos into something that feels strangely meant to be. Your mother would be proud, Martin says, his voice thick with emotion. And Robert. He's made his choice. The string quartet shifts to a new melody. 5 minutes remain. My bridesmaids gather their bouquets, lining up in the order we rehearsed. Jessica squeezes my arm as she passes. You look radiant. No one will be thinking about who isn't here, but I know some will. Empty chairs have their own presence. Melanie steps in, headset and clipboard in hand. Everyone's seated. Ethan's at the altar with the officiant. She studies me. You good? I nod, surprised that it's true. What began as devastation has settled into something else. Not peace exactly, but a sense of acceptance. The doors open. My bridesmaids walk one by one down the path. Then it's Martin and me waiting for our turn. He offers his arm. I've never been more honored than I am right now, sweetheart. Not once in my whole life. His eyes shine with unshed tears. The wedding march begins. Our cue. We step forward together into the sunlight. Guests rise in unison, turning toward us. White rose petals flutter along the path in the breeze. Every step feels significant. Every breath intentional. Martin's arm is steady under my hand, his stride perfectly matched to mine. Halfway down the aisle, I see Ethan. His eyes lock with mine and tears spill down his cheeks, not from pity, but from something else entirely. Gratitude. Beside him, his parents beam with pride. Catherine, who helped me with my makeup this morning, nods warmly. At the altar, Martin turns to me. His familiar aftershave, unchanged since my childhood, surrounds me like a memory. With all the love of family, chosen and given, he says, placing my hand into Ethan's. The celebrant steps forward, her voice strong and warm. Welcome, dear friends and family. We gather today to witness the union of Ariana and Ethan in marriage. She pauses, glancing between us. And I want to recognize the special role Martin has played today. Some bonds are written by blood, and others are formed by choice. Others by choice. Both can be equally sacred. A murmur of approval moves through the guests. From the corner of my eye, I notice some of my father's relatives shifting in their seats. Let them. This moment belongs to those who chose to be present. The ceremony continues like a dream. Vows are said. Rings slide onto trembling fingers. A kiss that promises a new start. Martin stands nearby throughout, steady, attentive. Later at the reception, the DJ's voice fills the ballroom. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. and Mrs. Ethan Carter, escorted by their beloved Uncle Martin. We enter to loud applause, Martin's hand resting lightly on my back. Twinkle lights and flowers turn the room into a canopy of stars over the dance floor. When the father-daughter dance approaches, a familiar dread rises, another tradition that highlights an absence. Martin steps forward and offers his hand. Just for a minute, he says. Then your husband gets his turn. We sway to the opening line of What a Wonderful World, his posture loosening as the song goes on. The tension I'd held all day starts to ease. Thank you, I whisper. No thanks needed among family, sweetheart, he replies. Ethan guides me away with practiced grace. Over his shoulder, I see a stir at the entrance. My father stands in the doorway, suit slightly off, scanning the room with restless eyes. He came after all. Ethan leans closer. Too late, I answer, surprised at how calm I feel. Not anger, just clarity. Some moments can't be reclaimed. Robert watches from the edge of the celebration while everyone else enjoys the evening. For the first time, I don't feel compelled to soften things for him or bridge the gap he created. Martin approaches Robert with quiet dignity. I turn back to the man whose hands hold mine. Are you okay? Ethan asks. I search for an honest reply. I think I am. Or I will be. The music swells and I choose to keep dancing. Half an hour later, silverware clinks and conversation quiets as Ethan raises his glass for a toast. I feel a tap on my shoulder. Ariana. My father's voice cuts across the room. I turn slowly, bracing myself. Robert stands behind me, hair rumpled, tie loose as if he rushed in. You made it, I say, my voice flat. Traffic was terrible. He gestures vaguely toward the door. I tried calling. You weren't answering. I was getting married. The words are sharp. He looks around at the centerpieces, the lights, the joy he missed. You could have made this easier, he says. Push the ceremony back an hour. Made what easier, Dad? Your choice. Before he can answer, Cousin Daniel arrives beside me. His usual easy manner is gone. He seems firm, determined. Sorry to interrupt, he says without sounding sorry, holding out his phone. But I thought you both should see this. The screen shows a group chat. Heading to Murphy's for drinks. Dad skipped Ari's wedding for this, so you better show up. Photos of Marissa and about 15 people at a bar, drinks raised, time-stamped 4:30 p.m., midway through my ceremony. Daniel swipes to another screenshot, a text from Marissa to someone named Jen. Dad will have to choose between us. I'll make sure he chooses me. The air leaves me, Daniel goes on. She changed the time of her drinks 3 times. He opens a calendar app showing invitations with shifting dates, each change lining up with our venue adjustments last month. I look at my father. Color drains from his face. He stammers, tries to speak. Ariana, if I had known... He begins, then stops. Starts again. If I had known... You would have what? I ask, the question heavy between us. Shown up, kept your promise, been present when it mattered. Heads turn. Nearby conversations fall silent. My father straightens and announces he wants to apologize, his voice carrying across the room. Guests shift in their seats. Not here, I say firmly. Not now. But I need to explain. No. The word leaves my mouth stronger than planned, clear in the sudden hush. You made your choice 2 weeks ago when you started finding excuses not to come. Now I'm making mine. Something changes between us. The invisible threads that tied me to his approval, the hope that survived years of disappointment, snap. I feel their absence like a phantom limb, aching but oddly liberating. Ariana. His voice trembles on my name. Enjoy the reception. Dad. I turn away, walking calmly back to where Ethan stands with his parents, their faces showing both concern and quiet pride. Catherine, my mother-in-law, takes my hand gently as I join them. Are you all right? She asks. Yes, I reply. And to my own surprise, I truly am. From the corner of my eye, I see Uncle Martin approach my father, who stands alone at the edge of the dance floor. Martin places a hand on Robert's elbow, guiding him gently away from the center of the celebration. "She deserves this day without more conflict," I hear Martin say as they pass. "You can talk tomorrow." My father's shoulders sag, and he lets Martin lead him toward the bar in the far corner. For the first time, Robert Parker doesn't look like the imposing figure whose approval I had chased for 17 years. He looks small, just a man who made choices that carried heavy costs, now beginning to face them. Ethan's hand slips into mine under the table. "You okay?" I nod, feeling the weight of both sorrow and joy settle into something not only bearable, but unexpectedly beautiful. "Better than okay." The DJ announces the next dance. Ethan rises and leads me onto the floor. From the corner of the room, I notice my father watching, with Martin nearby as a quiet guard. The pain in Dad's eyes is real, but so was mine when I read his message this morning. Some wounds need space to heal. Some truths must be spoken before new beginnings can take root. Tomorrow will bring hard conversations and maybe slow steps toward understanding. But tonight belongs to the family I chose, the ones who showed up when it mattered most. As Ethan pulls me close, I realize walking away isn't always an ending. Sometimes it's the first step toward something better. A year later, autumn sunlight pours through the wide windows of Ethan's parents' home, casting a golden glow over our anniversary gathering. I adjust the corsage of white roses, like my wedding bouquet, and smooth my hand over the small swell of my belly. "To Ariana and Ethan," Catherine says, raising her glass with a warm smile. 1 year of marriage and a lifetime of happiness ahead. Everyone clinks glasses. I sip my sparkling cider as Ethan's arm tightens around my waist. He whispers against my ear, "Happy anniversary, Mrs. Carter." Gregory places a photo album on the table. "Thought you might like to see how much family we've gathered in just 1 year." We flip through the pages. Thanksgiving dinner crowded around this same table. Christmas morning with Uncle Martin teaching Ethan to carve the ham. Easter with me awkwardly showing Dad where we kept the good plates. Each photo shows a step in our growing idea of family. "Remember when Robert nearly set the grill on fire on the 4th of July? Gregory laughs. I nod, recalling how my father had arrived with store-bought potato salad and far too many apologies. What began as small monthly meetings over coffee grew into full meals, each one rebuilding a foundation I once thought beyond repair. "Has Marissa called?" Catherine asks gently. "Not since she moved to Florida," I reply evenly. "She sent a card when we announced the pregnancy." "That's something, I suppose." Uncle Martin clears his throat from his chair by the fireplace. His face is more lined this year, but his smile is steady. "I have something for you both." He lifts a tissue-wrapped package. My hands tremble as I open it to find a cream-colored baby blanket. "Alice knitted it before she passed," Martin explains, voice thick with emotion. "She said it was for the next generation, whenever that time came." "Looks like it has." I run my fingers over the delicate stitching, thinking of the woman I never met whose gift still carries love forward. "It's beautiful," I whisper. The doorbell rings. Ethan returns with my father, who stands awkwardly in the doorway holding a worn photo album. "Sorry I'm late," he says. "Traffic on the bridge was bad." An excuse that once would have hurt now barely stirs me. "We're looking at photos." "Join us," I offer. He sits, opening his album. "I found these yesterday. Thought you might like to see them." Inside are images I've never known. My mother pregnant with me, her hand resting on her belly as mine does now. "I'm sorry I wasn't there when it mattered most," he says softly. "I can't change the past. But I want to be here for your future and for my granddaughters. I don't promise forgiveness, but I take his hand. One day at a time." Later, as we pose for a group photo, I stand between two worlds. Ethan's steady presence on one side, Martin's quiet strength on the other, and my father cautiously stepping into our circle. I place my hand over my belly, feeling what might be a flutter. Or just my imagination? Our daughter will know what loyalty really means, I tell Ethan as Catherine sets the camera timer. The shutter clicks, capturing a family redefined, not only by blood but by choice, and by the promises we choose to keep. I've learned that family is not just about who raised you. It's about who shows up when it matters. And sometimes, if you're lucky, it's also about who gets the chance to show up again.